Since last year, we've seen some major additions and significant changes to the Aegis Saber family. This raises an interesting question. Could the Saber line eventually split into two distinct series, or two distinct families? The original Saber and Saber Comet feel fundamentally different from the three newer Saber variants. Not just in some small ways, these differences are far greater than what we've seen between Hornet Mark 1s and Hornet Mark 2s. While the Hornets share almost identical design with minor stat and visual adjustments, the older and newer Sabers diverge much more dramatically. The two original Saber ships were designed as medium stealth fighters, more durable, more combat oriented, but still to strike from the shadow. By contrast, the newer Sabers, the Firebird, Raven and Peregrine, sit in an odd place between light and medium fighters themselves. They're fast, more specialized and built around unique gimmicks, but they sacrifice durability and raw firepower. The Saber Raven is most combat focused of the newer designs, equipped with dual EMP generators and two size 3 weapon mounts. It's fast, disruptive and rare, being one of the most exclusive ships in Star Citizen, only obtainable years ago through an Intel collaboration. Its double EMP loadout is still unique in-game and reinforces its utility over damage identity. The Saber Firebird is a missile-focused variant of the newer Sabers, also sporting two size 3 hardpoints, but relying heavily on its 24 size 3 missiles, with a special ability to lock on 8 at once. It excels at harassment from range, using speed and keeping distance. Still, its reliance on missiles makes it vulnerable to countermeasures, meaning it's not the most reliable missile platform, though it certainly adds some variety. It's also the most accessible of the newer Saber variants that can perform in combat. Saber Peregrine is the odd one out. Designed purely as a racer stripped of its weapons, it's all about speed. But in practice, its performance suffers on tight tracks with sharp turns, places where agility matters more than raw velocity. Many, including myself, feel this was a missed opportunity. An actual combat-focused variant would have fit the Saber family better than a racing ship of this size. But it does have good top speed, so that's something. Now returning to the classics, the Saber and Saber Comet. These two are nearly identical apart from the color scheme and the default loadout. Both are true medium stealth fighters, boasting high durability and better maneuverability than the newer variants. They trade the gimmick EMPs and missile bays for consistency and resilience. In fact, they can outmaneuver the well-established Hornet series, though they lack the Hornet's sheer firepower. Their stealth capabilities and agility make them dangerous in ambushes, and their ability to disengage remains one of their biggest strengths. Personally, I think these ships are some of the most underrated in Star Citizen. If I could change one thing, I'd swap the two size 1 shields for a single size 2, giving them better survivability without breaking balance. But perhaps that's what their stealth strength is about. Because the older and newer Saber designs are fundamentally different, splitting the family into two generations, it would make sense to split them apart. The original Saber and Saber Comet could remain Mark 1 line, while all the future designs build upon the faster, lighter Mark 2 variants. Most players would probably welcome this distinction, as differences are significant enough to justify it, far more than the Hornet series, whose Mark 1s and Mark 2 models are very similar, despite the latter being one of the best ships in the game. Such split could also create opportunities to expand the Saber line further, perhaps into stealth bombers, specialized fighters of the Mark IIs, or more experimental stealth craft. If done right, these could provide the Aegis Saber family with real competitive weight against the Anvil Hornet series. It's unlikely but possible, and of all the ships or their families, the Saber feels like the next best candidate for a proper division. Personally, I'd like to see both of them expand out in separate ways. We would get another Saber ship which would be of the original design, focused on something else than just stealth combat. And of course then the newer Sabers, the Mark IIs, or the alternative variant, so to say, would provide a proper fighter variant, which would probably be quite well received, as the newer variants truly lack the firepower variant, since most of them are built around gimmicks. At the moment, the Saber is just a bit underrated, often overlooked, but still one of the most beautiful ship designs in Star Citizen. And with a clear difference between the older and newer models, it truly deserves to be recognized as both the classics and the newer, which could be considered Mark IIs. Think what you will about the Saber, but it remains iconic. Just one of the ships that deserves more recognition. But I've been going on for long enough, so don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and thanks for watching.